Welcome back to Nerd Thug Radio.
Woo!
You can call me the Captain Joey Savage.
Corey DLG.
That's me.
Is this me?
It was him. It was
me.
Come on, man.
Meme than you than me than you.
Right.
I was just putting over how good you guys had that down.
No, you really you gave us a great compliment, and then Nico.
It's really just
screwed it
good
up.
when it's just me and him.
Right.
We throw somebody else in the mix like that over there. But we're joined right now with Rex Andrews still.
Stockton to Malone, and then you find a third guy.
Hornacek over there.
Right. Yeah.
Jeff Hornacek.
Remember that guy, the comb over and everything? Just whoop. We're talking a little bit with Rex about his trip, month-long trip.
Yes.
I stand corrected.
Month long.
To Japan.
New Japan.
Wrestle 1, started by the great Muta. You know that guy?
Is that the one who would do the spit thing?
Oh man.
Yeah, he had the face paint on.
Yeah.
He would spit like the green mist.
Yeah.
He's like Japanese Undertaker.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry. When I said the spit thing and you went, oh man, was I that far off, or were you just like, oh, that poor guy, that's all he's known for now?
No, I understand completely, but it's like saying, like Shawn Michaels, he's the guy who does like the kick thing, right?
Yeah. To be fair,
He's the guy that does
he's
the
the guy that
super
does the
kick.
kick thing. No.
He does do the kick thing.
And now 90 million wrestlers do super kicks.
Yes.
Right. That's man.
It's a cool move, though.
It is, but like it's
so
gotta,
convenient.
right? But it's gotta suck to be like the guy who nailed it and like made it, and now everyone does it like as a regular thing.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that's just kind of like the natural progression of everything, right? Like,
Oh, it is.
Now it's the legacy.
Right, it is.
First
But I
it was
mean,
the pal driver,
from finisher
and then the
to
body slam.
my B button move,
DDT.
the super kick.
like Jake
Right.
the Snake built a career off the DDT.
And now Bobby Roode uses it.
Right. But
Yeah,
Bobby Roode, he does like a real DDT, like a lifted DDT. Like I at least appreciate
Glorious.
that. A glorious
Yeah.
DDT.
Before we get to Japan, so we were at the match Saturday, and the Heavenly Bodies came out.
Yeah.
Some little man loves Bobby Roode. And so he
Okay.
just sees the ropes. He's like, is that the Glorious guy? Is he here?
There's two of them now. Yeah.
I was like, no, that's different,
You
guys.
should have just lied to him. He never would have known.
Well,
He would have told the story
they don't
12
have
years
that.
from now. He'd have been like, I saw Glorious in Houston. And someone was like, no, you didn't.
So one more thing. I kept letting it roll. So I kept telling him, hey, when the match is over, we're going to hang around a little bit and we'll talk to a few people. He's like, oh, like who? I was like, well, my friend Brock's back there. So we'll talk to him. So the whole show, he thought Brock Lesnar was coming.
Oh man.
The whole show.
Yeah, you just let it go. You're like,
Yeah, let it go. The finally like, dude, it's not Brock Lesnar.
It's Brock.
Like, he would be wrestling if he was here.
Can you imagine the sheer disappointment when Brock Baker walks out and he's expecting Brock Lesnar?
Yeah,
Like
Brock
the
Baker
200
doesn't need that.
The 200 pounds of not there that would have happened.
Yeah.
The sheer sadness from 5. I mean, what's Brock? 5'8"?
5'9", maybe.
Yeah.
And you know what he's not? Brock Lesnar.
But
Brock Baker's he's a great guy, and
We love Brock Baker. He's on
Yeah,
there all
he's
the
my
time.
friend Brock.
man, he just walks out and like there's disappointment. Like, what did I do to deserve?
Right. It's like, wait,
I just existed. That's all I did.
you know what you did? You weren't Lesnar.
Yeah.
So back to this Japan talk for 1
Japan.
month. While you're there, you're going to be wrestling in some pretty historical arenas there, yeah?
Absolutely. We have 2 shows lined up at Korakuen Hall, which is one of the most legendary pro wrestling.
I believe it's pronounced Hadouken.
Ooh,
No?
I wouldn't
No?
do that.
Oh.
I don't think.
I think it's
Download
pronounced...
the fight
I
app.
think
Download fight
It's
app.
downloaded.
Good.
I thought it was pronounced Hadouken.
So going over there, there's definitely a difference in American style wrestling and Japanese style wrestling. I mean, everywhere's different. What's the transition like? Do you have to prepare yourself a little bit before you get there, or are you just kind of like, I'm just going to go into it and see what happens?
Yeah, I've spent last 9 years of my career I've been obsessed with pro wrestling and just trying to understand as much as I can about all aspects of it, no matter what I'm involved in. So I definitely have like a solid grasp of like what the Japanese style is and like what they expect. That's different than an American style, but I was kind of excited about the trip is that I get this crash course of what their fundamentals are like, what they look for in pro wrestling. And I kind of get to bring that to the fans and show them the difference between American training versus Japanese pro wrestling training.
How much lead time are you going to get? Like how long before it was announced that did you know you were going to Japan?
I knew about a month out. I knew.
How much lead time would you ideally like to have had?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I could go tomorrow. I'm good.
Man, okay, all right.
Yeah.
He's ready.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
I feel like it's fencing versus like a samurai. Like it's just so different.
It's not really because again. So I for those people who don't know, I worked in India for a while. I started a pro wrestling school with Great Khali as the head coach, and I was able to teach these guys who knew absolutely nothing about pro wrestling how to do matches, how to wrestle who didn't speak any English, right? So some guys would have to get translated from English to Hindi and then Hindi to Punjabi before they had any idea what was going on.
Oh man,
So-
that's like
like
a
three translators.
sounds like a San Antonio Spurs practice right there. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So having that experience and like seeing like wrestling is a physical art form. It's something that you can communicate without having to use language, and it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the Rex Files because
The Rex Files, plug it.
just
I
the
love
Rex
it.
Files.
I love the name
on
of
Fight.
it.
So just growing up and
Please, you're gonna do the music, right?
Maybe that non-copyrighted.
Yeah,
If you play less than 30 seconds, bro,
you're good.
Really? All
Yeah.
right.
But like
Well,
growing
take
up,
notes from you guys.
growing up and watching
we
wrestling
steal all the time.
and wrestling documentaries,
Documents.
The Rex
Everything about
Files
wrestling-
documents.
Yeah,
Documents.
the bulletin boards all up there with the strings and all kinds of
You hear
stuff.
from a bunch of like wrestlers, like where they trained in the United States, blah blah blah. But then all you ever hear is them either say how hard it was to train in the Heart Dungeon,
Yeah.
or how hard it was to train in Japan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing else compares. So like, it's gonna be pretty sweet watching your Rex Files.
Yeah.
Download the Fight app.
Well, wait. So you saying he's gonna go over there and get his butt kicked, and you
No,
want
I'm
to see
just saying-
that? Turn on him.
No,
Get
I'm
'em.
good. I'll be able to survive the Japanese dojos. But when I was a kid, like I said, I was obsessed with wrestling, and I remember when I was 11, I was reading like wrestler autobiographies in class, like, 5th grade.
So this is like the thing for you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay,
this
all right,
has been a
all right.
lifelong pursuit of.
This has been the dream.
Yeah,
The
and
This is what happens when
It's all
you follow
coming together.
the dream. Well,
You make it
this is
happen.
what happens when your parents tell you no.
yeah.
This is what happens when you listen.
No one told
Yeah.
me no, and I just kept going.
See, people. No one tells you no. You get sent to Japan.
Rex, when
You
he's
just
like
figure it out.
15, I'm driving to Texas.
I made it happen. But yes, I remember reading about Japan and the J Cup in Chris Jericho's book, and he talks about how like the young boy system and how pro wrestlers get started over there and how it's a whole different culture of training. And
Walk us through that briefly, because you just said stuff I don't know.
okay, so like
Young boy, what is that?
if you want to start in pro wrestling, you start out as a young boy in Japan, and what that means is that you're cleaning and you're cooking and you're doing all the things for the older guys.
Oh, like the sumos did.
Yeah, sure. And so like
Okay.
you're kind of earning your spot, and then it's insane amounts of conditioning, and you're learning shoot wrestling, jiu-jitsu, things like that. You might even have to do a real amateur fight to prove that you're tough enough and like you understand combat sports enough to be a pro wrestler. Then you start doing pro wrestling, and like they'll limit you to having 3 moves. And I think one of like you get a hip toss, a drop kick, and a body slam maybe, and that's it.
I would nail it.
So
I would nail it.
you're out there with like Minoru Suzuki, and you're just getting your ass kicked, and you're like, I hope this drop kick works. That's all you got.
I hope it connects.
I got 2 moves.
And if
Let's
it
go.
connects, I hope he falls down.
Yeah, and so you go through that process, then you go on excursion, which was kind of like the equivalent of what I'm doing now. Of like they go to another company, another country, and like they learn another style of pro wrestling, and they come back to Japan, and then now they're a full-time roster wrestler. So that's like the
That's
progression.
awesome.
Yeah, that's the progression for Japanese pro wrestlers as opposed to here, where you kind of just start out and then you start making towns, almost like a musician. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like you learn the basics. Okay, cool. I can have a match. So I'm gonna take bookings in these random,
Yeah, because I feel like that's very much like a band. That's what I've been immensely kind of connecting you guys with as we've been talking about
Yeah.
this. And, we're 2 years into this, and we've been following you guys real closely. And Gio and you have been traveling around the country. Gino. I've been calling him Gio all day, man.
Follows him closely.
Yeah.
I follow him closely. I
You
do
know
not know
what? He
his
came
name.
here and he sat right here and didn't punch me all night. So
So
we're
Latin
friends.
heartthrob.
He's a heartthrob. He's a sweet guy. He's not gonna punch
Yeah.
anybody.
This is embarrassing, but on my Twitter I was following him, and he started going by TLH.
Yeah.
And for like a week, I was like, I don't know who this is.
I don't know this guy.
But so I've been kind of connecting him mentally as bands.
Yeah,
So like it's
it's,
interesting that way.
It's like I always compare it to like a band trying to make it, or comedians. Like you're out making towns, you're building your brand, you're building your notoriety, and then you're just waiting to hit it big.
Keep hoping. Next time I come back, the crowd will be a little bit bigger. They'll buy a couple more shirts.
Yeah,
One
and
guy.
usually,
Need one guy in that crowd to recognize me.
That's right.
yeah, the reality wrestling brand has grown so much,
And it carries well.
It does, yeah. And now like that we're on Fight. When I go to these small towns, a lot of times people are telling me, "I saw you on Fight first," which is very cool.
That is cool. That's very cool.
Yeah,
And Booker T helps. I mean, being the founder of reality wrestling, that it's somebody with such a large profile also himself.
yeah.
That kind of helps the credibility of it.
It gives you that first in, and then I think the talent that between like Gino, myself, JJ Blake, Rob Barnes.
Not so easy, is
I
it?
like JJ.
Yeah, but he didn't
Blake.
say he
JJ
followed
Blakes
him
is
closely.
amazing. And then there's
Q.
Rob Barnes, Q, Ryan Davidson. There's so many guys that are really talented.
Man, I like Ryan Davidson so much. He's so funny.
Ryan Davidson.
He's good, yeah.
He does great interviews. Not that this isn't going well, but you know, he started his oil interview with drinking motor oil.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So-
We're talking about my shoes.
That's right.
Yeah, so I think like with the crew that reality wrestling has and like this Japanese thing, to me this reminds me a lot of what happened when like Ring of Honor teamed up with Noah back in the day, when like two budding promotions kind of come together and like they can produce something really cool. So looking forward to that.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be. The future is bright just for reality of wrestling.
Absolutely.
So like, they've got an event in February, then an all-female event that they're partnering up with,
February 17th, Ladies Night Out.
Ladies' Night Out,
Oh, it's the latest.
all ladies, and then like you said, when you come back,
There's not announced yet, but March 3rd is going to be a big event with reality wrestling.
see, a big event.
big event.
Haven't announced it yet, but a big event.
We'll
And
talk about that next time.
That's,
There you go.
and that's outside of the normal second Saturday of the month.
Yeah, which is our typical Fight TV. Download the app right now. Tapings
Fight TV, download it now,
Fight TV.
every week,
FITE.
Sundays. Reality wrestling, Fight TV.
and you can see the.
So
refs.
every week, Reality Wrestling's releasing new content
Absolutely.
through the Fight TV
Yeah,
app.
weekly episodic shows, and we're going to be doing pay-per-view content further down the line.
That's very
Yeah,
exciting.
because you guys
Very
were, I know
exciting.
originally you were going to do a live event.
monthly event.
Yeah,
That's
right?
kind of been pushed back a couple times.
Christmas Chaos was going to be our first live pay-per-view. What we decided to do instead was make that the first Fight exclusive content. So you can see myself versus John Morrison and Q, Gino versus Aiden Cristiano, Lucha Extrema, and Cam Cole versus Abel Andrew Jackson. And that's all
Exclusively.
exclusive on Fight, episode 193, Reality Wrestling.
There you have it.
You just
Download
cut
the
down.
Fight app. This is Rex Andrews. We didn't need to talk about the domino.
Yeah.
We'll save that for next time.
Next time we'll talk about the domino. Follow me on Twitter at Rex Andrews, Instagram Rex Andrews Grapples, and watch the Rex Files on Fight TV.
And with that, let's jump out to a break. We come back. We'll talk nerdy to you.